Welcome to this explainer on sandbanks. We're jumping right into the fascinating reality of a stunning peninsula that hides deep history and serious local drama right behind its glittering facade. If you've ever wondered what life is actually like on Britain's most exclusive stretch of sand, and what happens when immense wealth collides with the wild forces of nature, you're in the right place. Just to wrap your head around the sheer exclusivity we're talking about here, consider this. A family-owned four-bedroom bungalow recently sold for a staggering £13.5 million. When you break that down, it comes out to a record-breaking £4,640 per square foot. That is literally the premium you pay for 270-degree views of Poole Harbor, especially for a property that hadn't changed hands in 117 years. And honestly, that brilliantly illustrates exactly why it's earned the nickname Britain's Palm Beach. Because by land value, it is frequently ranked as the fourth most expensive place to live in the entire world, trailing only global megacenters like London, Manhattan, and Tokyo. It's a tiny, hyper-coveted strip of land that's attracted an incredible roster of high-profile residents over the decades.
Section 1. The peninsula's famous footprints, from the Beatles to the Premier League.
The historical footprints here are absolutely fascinating. Back in the 1960s, J.R.R. Tolkien, the legendary creator of Middle-earth, resided just a short distance down the beach at Branksome Chine. Then, in 1965, John Lennon paid £25,000, which was a massive sum at the time, to buy a home called Harbor's Edge. He bought it to give his Aunt Mimi panoramic harbor views safely tucked away from the absolute madness of Beatlemania. Fast forward a bit to 2001, and we see football manager Harry Redknapp buying his first £3 million Sandbanks home, effectively kicking off a brand new era of celebrity residence. Nowadays, the peninsula is a veritable who's who of British culture. It serves as this ultra-private sanctuary for rock stars like Liam Gallagher, celebrity chefs like Rick Stein, and sporting legends from Paul Gascoigne to Graham Souness. It's become the ultimate enclave where public figures can lock down their own slice of coastal privacy. Section 2. Battles over billionaire builds, the architecture police. Here's the thing though, with extreme wealth comes extreme scrutiny, especially when you start talking about tearing down and rebuilding in a designated conservation area. We get a perfect look at this strict local oversight through the multi-year planning battles faced by former football manager Harry Redknapp and his wife Sandra over their proposed £12 million luxury villa. Right out of the gate, there was a massive clash of architectural visions. The typical Sandbanks aesthetic, the stuff the local council is completely used to approving, features modern, flat-roofed mansions, symmetrical designs, and wooden windows. But the Redknapps? They went in a totally different direction. They envisioned a classic 19th century Italian Lake Como palazzo, complete with Palladian columns, a low-pitched gable roof, and rust-proof steel windows looking right out over Brownsea Island. Well, the Bournemouth Christian Church and Pool Council initially pushed back hard. They called the palazzo style disjointed and asymmetrical. They felt the design completely missed the mark on the typical Sandbanks look, and they heavily scrutinized everything from the window placements to the exact shape of the roof. And the resistance certainly didn't stop at the council level. Next-door neighbor Alison Wheeler raised major concerns about the sheer scale of the new development, calling it overpowering and warning of a major impact on our privacy. You have to remember, plots here are packed incredibly tight, so every single structural tweak is heavily contested. So, to appease both the council and the neighbors, the architects went back to the drawing board. They agreed to reduce the overall roof height, shrink the garage, make the actual footprint narrower to respect the property lines, and install glazed privacy glass. And with those specific compromises in place, they successfully got the £12 million build approved. So, they managed to navigate all the architectural red tape. But what happens when you're up against something you absolutely cannot control? You can dictate the height of a roof or the tint of your windows, but nature does not care about planning commissions or million-pound property values. Section 3. When Chaos Strikes Paradise, a Maritime Surprise. In a completely bizarre twist of fate, right as the Redknapps were constructing their multi-million-pound sanctuary, a 50-foot, three-hulled racing trimaran named Three Cheers lost power. This 25,000-pound sailboat was blown wildly off course by the wind and smashed directly into the Redknapps' newly built garden jetty, getting completely wedged underneath it. It is very safe to say this was not the garden ornament they were planning for. The Pool Lifeboat spokesperson explained that the boat had no engine at the time and just got into difficulty. So the local volunteer lifeboat crew literally had to rush to the scene of this exclusive 12 million pound palazzo to rescue the crew of the engineless boat. Talk about stunning the homeowners with some unexpected maritime chaos right in their backyard. And this just brilliantly highlights the ultimate irony of sandbanks. The expectation is this highly controlled, peaceful sanctuary shaped by strict rules and endless millions. But the reality? A 50-foot runaway sailboat can just crash right into your garden on a quiet afternoon. You can buy the most exclusive, hyper-regulated plot of land in all of Britain, but you are still entirely at the mercy of the wild sea. To wrap up this explainer, we've seen that Sandbanks is so much more than just a millionaire's row. It's a complex community defined by rigid rules, world-breaking land values, and a deeply rich cultural history. But above all else, it is defined by the untamed ocean at its doorstep, an ocean that flat out refuses to be tamed by wealth. Which leaves us with this final thought. In a place where you can buy a 13 million pound bungalow, but you can't stop a 50-foot sailboat from crashing into it, what does true luxury actually mean? If ultimate wealth can't insulate you from the chaotic forces of nature, is the incredible prestige of Britain's Palm Beach really worth the price tag? Definitely something to think about the next time you visit the coast.